people of YouTube. It's Brittany, Inner Goddess, here on the tube and elsewhere on the interwebs. Um, I wanted to come on here and chit chat a little bit about being a tarot tour guide. Um, and how helpful it is to work through where you're stuck at. And how I've realized that people do this in a multitude of ways uh, without tarot, like beyond tarot. Um, what I mean by that is this: I I never really understood uh, grown folks that wrote children's books or young adult fiction. I'm just like, are you bored? Like, are you bored? Or do you miss that time? Look at me, full of judgment. Um, but uh, but then I witnessed uh, confusion from adults when adults would be like when I responded I did have fun hanging out with my daughter and she was a kid. And it's just like, well, what do you mean? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, how are you entertained with kid stuff? And it's basically whatever um, is unresolved from your childhood, you didn't get to do, or that you did do, and you really liked, but now it's you're not supposed to do it anymore. um, that can be an area to continue. Some people just need to revisit for a day or something. Like, uh, you buy yourself some bubbles and play in some bubbles. Or I've seen people with bubbles at their wedding instead of rice. And I'm just like, both things could be an annoyance to people, to guests. But bubbles are pretty and won't get stuck in your eye. Like, that's lovely. But some could think it's childish. I don't know. But yeah, uh, I I now get it when I look at it that way because there's plenty of adults that is like have kids, but it's just like there ain't not a damn thing that they want to do around the kids. And I just like it really depends because I think about my childhood and my adult time was me being like an adult. I'm an only child. So I was growing up like the only kid there. I was at home a lot, and my mom, who stayed at home with me, was not. Uh, she doesn't come all the way down to kid. If there's a sticking point, it's teenager. So teenager with a kid, and so I had to come up. So, but my practice, a lot of kids practice being an adult. That's part of play. That's what you're doing with a dollhouse. Dollhouse activity is like adult practice, like social interactions practice, working some stuff out, figuring out what kind of role you'd want to play, or how you'd respond to various scenarios, just playing stuff out. My play was real, though. I need to give real advice to my mom in real scenarios, or else the consequences will be directly associated with my advice because why did I give that bad advice? I'm 5. But you're supposed to be smart, Brittany. Come on now. Come on. Um, so, uh, adult practice was practice winning as an adult, as a kid. Practice my adult learnings on other kids. All that psychology of watching the adult TV shows, watching the soap operas, watching interior design, Wedding Story. If you guys saw those shows on TLC, Wedding Story and Baby Story, I got a lot of hours manned on those shows, and my mom being terribly sad because even though she had a big wedding, uh, events beyond her control occurred that made her very disappointed about it. And I heard about it forever. I can hear about it some more if I bring it up. Um, so, how that, like different people respond to things in different ways. But like okay, let me I'm just like let me circle this back around to the main topic. Sticking points. You can work through sticking points with tarot just like how people are working through stuff doing different things, writing movies, writing music, um books, children's books, young adult books, interior design. It's funny because I'm just like I'm realizing right now why my like specific preferences towards interior designers, and there's tons of people in interior design, like all sorts of different people from all sorts of walks of life, but I have a specific kind of direction that I look in, specific kind of person, and I'm seeing why. Because of who my mom watched, who I watched with her in like many hours. And so many kids, um, when, like, okay, parents are like, the adults are having adult conversation or they're watching adult shows. Some adults want the kids to not be paying any attention and just sit there quietly. Like, just ignore, just act like your ears are closed. But some expect you to be paying attention. I was quizzed on how much attention I was paying. And it was not a negative thing. It was like, okay, so you heard this or that, you were paying attention to this or that. What is my opinion? What kind of conclusions have I come to this? So it's not just me listening, but it's active listening because I need to be forming an opinion as I'm hearing what I'm hearing. And it needs to be valuable too. It can't just be some nonsense. So, um, where I might be kind of stuck at, I guess, as an adult person, is this active rebellion towards always having to have all the answer, like all the answer, the correct answer for everybody else. I've got to know the answer for who I'm speaking to, all the people that they speak to, myself. It's got to be right. I need to be calm and clear in relaying it. It needs to be based on like intelligence. I need to be able to explain. And even though I can use my feelings to figure things out, even if something has something to do with me, I cannot spaz out emotionally. So this is why sometimes I'll say stuff that can be triggering or jarring, like really extreme stuff about my own life. But the way that I appear does not emotionally doesn't reflect the way that one would expect someone to react. It's because I could not. Like I gotta hold space for whomsoever, even if something is occurring with me. But I did not want this for my bundle. Um, could not figure out how to avoid it when I was still in a position of having to hold space for other people because there's a certain amount of capacity as one human. So if I'm needing to manage, I'm juggling multiple adults, I need her to just sit and wait until it can be her turn. But that's an adult kind of patience. Although I had it, I had to have it. I there was just no other way, and she did it excellent. And I saw a lot of me in her. She has a vast capacity for other people, but she'll also respond to jacked up before I will. Before I would at the time that I was in her life. I was way late in the response. Some would say way late, but it's just like getting into spirituality and everything. I've realized that it's just like there's purpose in everything. And um, that's something that some of us have to learn. Some people fly off the handle really fast. Some people are just already there, just born crazed. Um, some people it takes a little while, or some people it seems half past never. They're like, I'm not mad. Blood pressure 5,000. That's why If you've seen the movie Office Space, I I could relate to heck the main character and the guy with the stapler. Uh, the the guy was all the way. If you haven't seen this movie, they're working in the office space. Everybody's in a cubicle, and one of the guys just continuously takes takes the shit. Well, heck, everybody does. Like everybody does from this particular boss, but this guy is all the way in the basement, not being paid everything, uh, and he tries to complain. He's trying to state his grievances, but the boss is just not hearing it and doesn't give a rip. And I can totally understand. It took a little bit of therapy for me to have it relayed back that I am assertive, because I kept being told that I didn't say anything, or that I don't say much, or I'm too quiet, or I don't really express myself. People don't really know that there's anything wrong. And I'm just like, I do say something. The issue is that if you're dealing with people whose level of saying something is you've got to scream and cuss and break some dishes, or else you're not angry, then I'm just kidding. Like me saying that I'm bothered about something is like very minimal. Me asking for something like, oh, if you have the patience to ask, then you're not really in an issue. If you're having an issue, you demand and make threats. Like that's a high level of aggression. It is. But for people that are used to that, then that's what they need. So some people are used to that and want more of it, want it to continue. And some people are used to that and don't want it. I'm a person that really doesn't want it. I don't want to have to be that aggressive to be heard, or to get what I want. I don't want to manipulate to get it through passive aggression, magic, all sorts of stuff. I don't want to do that. That's um I I can't even deny that like it's common in magical circles that strategize on how you can get what you want indirectly. But on some level, it is direct, meaning for you to ask for it, for you to say that you want abundance, and abundance as in wealth, like be specific. It's just like, oh, I don't want an abundance of sand. I would like an abundance of money, dollars. currency that I can spend on whatever I would like. That is very specific and that is very direct. You have to be direct somewhere. And so that means somebody's got to know. You can't have it be like a total secret to yourself and everybody else. I think that's the main issue when it comes to divination. People that don't want to get no reads don't want to admit that there's anything that they don't know or are confused by or feel like it's out of their control. Like, oh, I got this. It's fine. I'm a very positive person. Okay, you don't have to be non positive, miserable at the end of your rope to get a reading. You don't have to be. I think that it's a good thing if you have the capacity, because there's plenty of people that have been at the end of their rope that have not come to tarot. Maybe they didn't think about it, didn't know about it, didn't think they should or could. But you don't have to be at the end of the line to go do a check-in. There's many people around the world that check the cards every day, check the cards every week, check the cards every month, check the cards as there's a astrological transit. Like, there is a time when we would have considered weather forecast divination. Predicting the weather is magical and mysterious, and now we think of it as nothing. It is something, though. Because the weather isn't just going to be exactly the same as it's been in years past. Like every year is going to be the same weather on the same days. There can be changes. It's the weather person's job to be able to put together the different factoids about the atmosphere and the temperature and the winds and the precipitation, put all this together and the historical intel and come up with the probability of what kind of weather there's going to be. It's pretty close to like what a tarot person is doing. There's some psychic proclivities, which some readers that are strictly readers get angry at the especially psychic people about. Like, that's not fair. You're using your psychic powers. Well, they're just there. I'm just like, it's just there. So leave me alone. But that's what we're doing with a read. We look at the card or look at the stack of cards. Whereas the weather person might have licked a finger and stuck it in the wind. I'm feeling how I'm feeling. I'm sensing what I'm sensing, and I'm giving you the probability or what I'm told, because I'm just like, it depends. If I get straight up intel about the scenario, then I'm going to give it to you. If not, I'm reading the forecast. But it's a message in itself if I get silence on something or other, because that means it's already been said. My people's soul fam, people that have a connection, a relationship with, whether that's ancestors, a spirit guide, or a team, like people that talk to the Galactic Council. I'm going to have to look for some folks. But anyway, personalities are different. You might look at some people's cards some oracle decks and think like, wow, this is so soft and gentle. My family ain't never talked to me like that. Like it's rough. Like where are the cussing cards that say get the hell on? I said what I said. um, my my Mister does not make it a habit to repeat himself. Not unless absolutely necessary. I'm having a conniption. I'm really in a bad way. But like, yeah, I'm off in the weeds. I'm not understanding. But other than that, if I know what was said and I understand what was said, and I just want to hear it a bunch of times, like I'm probably going to get chewed out. That's what's that's what's going to happen. And so I choose not to keep asking, even if somebody asks me the same question. And again, I'm just like, I'm not going to ask it again, but I will explain more as much as I'm aware of why the answer is the answer, because that tends to be an issue. Um, if there's some information that's relayed about, like, here's how something is going to go, or here's what you need to do next, if it's a challenging task, a person might wonder why. Why is that what I have to do next? I might get the reason why, or I might not. It might be a moment where you got to step out on faith. Some people, when I encounter a good soul, a good, kind soul that can read for me, and I know, oh, yeah, that's me, that's my intel coming through. Whoop, whoop. I'm so happy. What a blessing. I'm thankful. Uh, I encounter that, and it might sound kind of easy what spot I'm in, but it is not for me. I will say that it's a certain personality. Some people are able to faith walk or sit, just be like, I'm just going to believe. I'm just going to believe that everything's going to work out, and then I'm going to chill. I'm going to have a great day. And they could seriously be chilling. Tell those folks they ain't got to do nothing but wait on the Lord. And they are chilling. Some people do want to do work. Like, that don't make it no sense. And so they are happy to do work. Some people don't like what the work is. I'll say probably most of the time. Most of the time, you either don't like the work or you're in disbelief about what the work is. I think that's why throughout history we have so many stories where somebody's task, it might be simple, it might not be too hard, or it might be extraordinarily difficult, but it's like one or two steps. And the person just really don't want to do it, or really has a hard time. So for the unnerved, Like I am not only perpetually anxious, but conditioned to believe that creativity is not a viable thing that you can count on for stability in life. Even though I haven't experienced stability in life. Very analytical people. I have not experienced stability. But definitely, if you count on artistry, that can possibly lead to stability. Lots of people look at creative people, successful creative people, and think that it's ease. They're looking at the lifestyles of the rich and the famous. They're looking at the ease. But that's just a result. One, two, not everybody's experience, and three, just like with every other job, there isn't really any stopping. It's switching gears. I was watching someone, which I know he makes big bucks because I'm like, I look at the cost of the materials that he's using, so I'm like, whoa, yeah, you've made a lot of money, but worth it. Look at what you do. But anyway, this sculptor, uh, like that's what he does. Like, and he was explaining his process. It's great that he's sharing it because I'm sure a lot of people could look at his stuff and be like, "Whoa, like I want to do that," or "How can I get you to make me something?" And it's just like I'm way beyond your price range, and people wouldn't understand why they can't afford any of his work, why his price is going to be so damn high. And the price is so damn high because of the materials and the labor, the skill. He has a special skill to be able to see in his mind what he wants to make and sculpt it. And he does it pretty quick. Like, he does it as fast as one can possibly do it. That's not everybody's process. Let me put that out there, that some people take their time, and necessary. You don't want people's blood pressure to go so through the roof that they're not on the planet so long to work. So if a person needs to take their time to deliver their best work, let them take their time. If a person likes to go fast and they still do a great job fast, then fantastic. You're in luck. You don't have to be so patient. But anyway, um, he was sharing the process. I'm like, where am I going with this? Why is this important? Because I think more than ever, no, I'm sure, more than ever, more than ever, people have access to artists' creative process. We expect some degree of know-how of how where did a journalist get their information? What is their process of getting these facts? Where did these facts come from? Where did you go to school? How did you figure out how to do this? Um, in government, however much you can stand to listen to Congress, however long you can listen to congressional hearings, uh, it dictates and find out how politics works. You can understand some of the process of how laws are made, how people are put in office, like what is the process of getting things done in legislation. It's pretty transparent, even the nonsense. People say, I can't believe the government keeps this from us. It's not really hard to dig up. It's boring. It's boring to most people. Most people really don't care. They just want what they want. And as soon as they start to hear why the answer is no, it's like, womp, 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 womp. That's the funniest thing that Charles Schultz did with Charlie Brown, having all the adults go, womp, 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 womp. It's like that's what kids hear when adults are speaking. Womp, womp. Uh, that's people listening to Congress. But if you have an issue with law, politics, government, you're going to have to listen to a lot of womp, womp, womp. And it's getting pretty interesting, getting pretty hot as the UAP. I don't know why I don't want to call them UFOs no more. It's just like, what the crap? See, that's some hidden stuff. If you want to know, like, oh, they hide things from us, just change the words and people are lost in the weeds. They're like, what the hell is a UAP? A UFO. That's what a UAP is. It takes what, a couple seconds of figuring out, of research, but some people would just be lost in the sauce because they're using a different word. Hearing about this MK Ultra conversation could be like, what the heck is that? It's code word for something. You gotta listen to some womp 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 to figure out what MK Ultra is. But fortunately, in these magnificent times, there's a lot of people that have tolerance for that, whose nerves are fried, and so they don't have patience to regurgitate the intel in the same boring way. They're amped, and so they break stuff down really quick, and they're talking about all this stuff, and they're angry, and that's all it takes for a general public to be like, okay, this person is like raging about something or other. So what are you raging about? There's clearly something that's making you mad. It's mind control. They're sending mind control. And if you haven't lost a person by that point, then you can give them some information. I kind of operate in a way that I hope I can run people off pretty early before I get to juicy stuff. Like, you don't need to, if you have a very shallow depth of receptivity for intel, you don't need to be around for the heavy stuff, because you're going to hear some heavy stuff and run with it, and you're not going to have any background for it. And you're just going to amp some other people up. It's just everybody doesn't need to be freaking out. But you need to, if you're going to spread some intel that I spread, hopefully saying enough to fellow smarty pantses that like to do research, that are going to look some stuff up. Because I may or may not share where I got my research because I'm tired of proving that I'm smart. I'm like, just believe I'm stupefied. Stupefied may be the veneer that I wear, but best believe I'm not trying. I'm not trying to sound stupefied. I don't have to try. Sometimes I'm just like I'm not the genius on the topic. I'm relaying information. Sometimes I'm an experiencer. Just like example, and just a very personal example for women folk. Women, females are in our bodies. So when you go to a gynecologist or an obstetrician, whatever, you go to the lady doctor, whatever you say is going on is what's going on. It's their job as the medical professional to figure out what the heck that is. If they have patience, they can. Patience and care for their job and interest, hopefully being paid. And if not, it's like they shouldn't be telling you that it's in your head or that there's nothing going on if you feel like there's something going on with you. So there's very much a reason why, numerous reasons why I've gone back to the ways of my ancestors. Because healthcare, like medicine, used to be about if you're having an issue. It's not called you just go to the doctor. You don't just go to the doctor. That's business. That's just making money. You got a checkup for this, a checkup for that, a bunch of tests. All of this is thousands of dollars. You guys look at that bill. You might not care if you have health insurance, but there's still money flying around. That's the only reason why they want you in there for all the tests. Money. It's not we care. No, you don't. You care about getting a paycheck. So, once upon a time, healthcare was in response to an issue. You have a problem, you go see the medicine person. You're not having a problem, there's no reason to waste their time. you don't waste it. You don't just come to them just to chit chat unless a mental conundrum is the issue. The medicine person was multi-purpose medicine person because everything isn't physical. Sometimes it's a spiritual issue. Sometimes it's an environmental issue. Um, it's wild. It is what's coming up right now. That where there was a tribe medicine person, medicine slash magical person, and with that getting busted up because with colonialism and and all sorts of nonsense, there no matter about that person that had all that stuff on their face and stuff in their hair and was wearing all that regalia, they get busted up like everybody else if they get caught in the mix. It's like, aha, this is a special. It's just like they see, like, oh, you thought you were special, not special anymore. um, unless someone was going to get a little extra coin for you, and that's if you would be cooperative. If people could get you to do some stuff that's magic and they trust you and don't believe you're going to poison them, great. You could get yourself an elevated position on a plantation right there. This is more for imported Africans than the native folk. Um, People got really mixed up where things weren't passed on, or some part might be passed on, and other things no, because that wasn't the way that things were done. You don't just tell people all the methods because it's like it's a job. People are supposed to come to you. Like that's the job. So you don't really tell people how to be medicine people, but people would tell their family members, even family members that may go a great distance going away from the family because you want to help your family. But then your family tells somebody else. It's not the family. You tell other people and other people and other people. And it turns into some lore. And just like playing that game telephone, there's some information that is lost. So it's like, why is that done? And it just turns into like superstition, some weird process that don't make sense or whatever. But there was reason. And again, that's another flag for those with sensitivity, high levels of sensitivity where you have chit chat. That's to bring this information in, and that means that you're a person like this. Some things are taught, and some things are a result of direct chit chat. Everything ain't for everybody. Even in a family, and you have to think about why. One of those funny questions, like people, yeah, I don't know if you ever asked this question or were asked this question, like, what would you do if you could turn invisible? Some people think of all sorts of nonsense. And it's just like, that's why you can't really be where you're not supposed to be. You don't have access to where people are not expecting you to be because you would be a terror. Like there's integrity gates. If your only response is if you could be invincible, you'd hear what people say about you. when you're not in the room, it's not too shabby. Because anything that they say behind you, with you not in the room, they should be willing to say it to you. If they're unwilling to say it to you or around you where you're expected to be able to know what they're saying, then what is it? What is the reason? And it's not always bad, or some people presume it's always horrible news, it's always bad gossip, it's always rude. Sometimes, but also sometimes uh, people really have some complimentary things to say, and they just don't want you to know. And if you're having an issue of like really poor esteem, you're really feeling bad because you are sitting by yourself, or people are not treating you the way that they're talking about you, then yeah, Spirit's going to grant you intel about what people really think and how they really feel because you need it. It would help you to get by. Believing that you're alone because nobody can stand you and that you're a horrible person, they think all this bad stuff, is not helping you to keep moving. You need to know that you are appreciated, just intimidating. Also, I I will say that as I've witnessed some real psychic people that work in the field and psychic people that don't. I've been like, there's no way that there shouldn't be no respect on this occupation. So absolutely, yeah, I can be like zero to grouch if someone is disrespectful, because I'm like, I'm not the place to work out what you believe in. Like, you can do a little observation, but then go back to your own research or work through your own stuff, your own biases, or whatever science you need. But uh, asking me to perform circus tricks to to prove that I'm psychic is ridiculous. Ridiculous. uh, as a person, I've always wanted. This is a sidebar, whatever. We're going on a little detour, but I've always kind of wanted to go to like that like adult convention in Vegas. But even though those are adult stores, there's people that sell sex toys, and there's porn stars, whatever. There's all sorts of adult activity people. Like, you're not gonna see nobody doing no stuff right there at the convention. Well, maybe in a room. I don't know. But they're not going to be sitting there just on the showroom floor doing stuff. It's just like, buy their DVD, buy their products. They're not just going to sit there and demonstrate. It's just like, you've been awarded the best sex of the year. Let me see. I don't believe it. Too bad. Buy the DVD. They're not going to sit there and demonstrate for everybody. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And whatever their field is, If they're just an attractive person that's selling lube, then that's their job. They're not going to be doing anything. You're not going to see them doing anything. They're just the lube girl. I'm like, this is all stuff. I'm thinking of Hooters now. I'm like, Hooters girls. They are waitresses. That is the job, waitressing. So, even though they're known for having some big Hooters, they're walking around in little outfits. They're expected to be attractive, expected to probably be a little flirty. I'm like, that's just part of the job. But they're not expected to come out in the parking lot and do somebody. They're waitresses. They serve the wings. They don't even cook the wings. So don't complain to them about the recipe of the wings, the sauce of the wings. They take your order, they deliver the food. In divination, the job is relaying the information. Me interpreting the information, me giving background about who I am and all my life and trying to be attractive and personable and having patience, that's all erroneous stuff. That is all not part of the job. The diviner can look how they want to look. They don't have to be fresh. I'm like all these questions about like what am I like as a person? Not yours. Like good God. It's not my job to be attractive to everybody. If I happen to be attractive, I'm flattered. Thank you. Thank you for finding me attractive. I'm glad. And if you think I'm ugly, you don't have to call me ugly. That's nonsense. It's wrong. Do you sit there and go through a drive-through and tell people that their weave is not good enough? No. You hope they hand you your freaking bag of food calmly and politely without throwing it at you through the car window and cussing you out. So I'm just like redefining this job, and I'm saying this for others just as much as myself, for myself as much as others, that in these modern times, people have been trying to get their hustle on, so trying to be attractive, trying to do all this stuff, even our cards, our tools. Your stuff don't have to be pretty. If you throw a pile of lint balls down on the ground to figure out what the reading is, if you can read lint balls, freaking dryer lint, read dryer lint. The people want to complain, I can't believe that person is only using dryer lint. I pay them $100 a reading and they read dryer lint. So what? If they see the clearest through dryer lint, you leave them the hell alone if they're accurate. Now, to be clear, I ain't never been harassed about my stuff. No, nobody says, "Oh, your cards are ugly. Your cards suck." Nobody says that to me. But some people wish, and this is just a thought. I'm replying to a thought. I'm replying to a feeling before it even lands as a statement to me in a tangible way. That it's just like, you don't even need cards. Why don't you just talk? Because if I just sit and talk, you're gonna want to just sit and look at me. I I don't want you to fixate on my appearance unless it's a time that I can allow it. There might be something for you to divine in my appearance. If not, that's just a distraction. Just like for any job, like if you're watching the news, sometimes a news person gives a little intel about their life. They talk about what they were doing last weekend, what movie they want to see, their dog. They might talk about something personal, even though they're a news anchor, and it's just like their job is the news. But they're not required to tell you about who they are. And so I sometimes have to refocus things and let people know, like, hey, you've gotten a little distracted by who I am as a person. I might be telling you something about me and it relates to the issue. Don't fixate on me. Think about how what I'm saying relates to what I'm talking about. And because I'm observed on such a mysterious level, I'm trying to help explain some things to where some people might have gone off in the weeds a little bit. And I'm like, here's what this means. But that's extra. I go above and beyond. This is who I am. And anybody that has had the good fortune of of reading with me personally knows that's how I operate. But don't think that's just standard for the field, which you'll know. Anybody that gets readings will know that it's just like, no, some of these people say, get the heck on. I ain't interpreting crap, or anything that they say is like from the book. You could buy the deck and buy the book yourself. What you're paying for with a reader is their skill, their sensitivity, their experience, and their personability, their vibes. Do you like how they talk to you? Does it feel good around them? And I happen to be cute most of the time. I happen to be cute. Dang nabbit. I don't care what people want to say. I'm cute. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. Damn it. Anyway, I'm I'm gonna call it. This is over an hour. So, uh, main points of this. Tarot is good for sticking points. I've said before, it's a map. There's many ways that people work out different areas they're stuck on, whether that's a time in their life or a particular issue or an identity that they've had. Tarot can help you to see what you're stuck on, identify why, and if it's something that you can use, because it's not always an issue of letting go, like just drop it, just forget about it, just be beyond that age or beyond that job or beyond that identity, beyond that person or those people. Sometimes it is use it. And I'm saying better than the average, whatever, creative people, artists know that. They utilize that stuff. All of that is part of the paintbrush, the toolbox. That's part of the well that they draw from for creativity. But if you're not creative in that way, then tarot can help you. All right. So if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you so much. I'm sending lots of love your way and many blessings on the journey. I'll see you in the next one.